this evening. First, a fatal collision claims the life of a 21-year-old Venezuelan national after a speeding car ran a red light in Georgetown. We'll have the details of the tragic accident and the ongoing investigation. Plus, in a major announcement, President Irfan Ali pledges a minimum salary of $100,000 for all public sector workers starting in 2025. Will the private sector follow suit? Find out how this move could impact wages across Guyana. Also, heartbreaking prospect as a 5-year-old boy tragically loses his life in an explosion at home. We'll bring you the emotional story and the ongoing investigation into this devastating accident. And police confirm that reports of an alleged kidnapping at Amelia's Ward Primary School were a false alarm. We'll explain how the investigation unfolded and what's being done to ensure the community's peace of mind. Finally, a 3-day strike by public transport workers has paralyzed Peru's capital. We'll tell you why unions are demanding action against organized crime and what this means for residents. Stay tuned for these stories and more right here on Headline News Update. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for October 11th, 2024. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, police are investigating a fatal accident that occurred on the night of Thursday, October 10, 2024, at the intersection of Camp and Lamaha Streets, Georgetown, which claimed the life of a 21-year-old Venezuelan national, Luis Nitira. The accident involved a Honda Vezel driven by 19-year-old Cleveland Peters, and a motorcycle ridden by Nitira with 25-year-old Yonis Moya, also Venezuelan, as the pillion rider. According to police reports, the car was speeding east along Lamaha Street, while the motorcycle was heading south on Camp Street. The traffic light at the intersection was in flashing mode, with the car facing a flashing red light and the motorcycle facing amber. Peters failed to stop, driving through the intersection and colliding with the motorcycle. Nitira and Moya were thrown into an empty lot nearby. Moya was taken to the hospital in a conscious state, while Nitira was pronounced dead at the scene. Peters is in police custody and investigation continues. As speeding contributes to lives lost on the roadways, drivers are being urged to slow down and observe the rules of the road. In this report, Dale Jarvis informs us about a tragic explosion at a home in Prospect that claimed the life of a 5-year-old boy. Here's more.
In a heartbreaking incident, a 5-year-old boy, Fayaz Saeed of Prospect East Bank Demerara, tragically lost his life following an explosion at his home on Thursday, October 10, 2024. Investigation revealed that the incident occurred around 4:30 p.m. when the child's parents were on their veranda at home using a welding torch to cut a metal barrel to make a barbecue grill. Fayaz was also on the veranda when the barrel the parents were cutting exploded and debris struck him on the left side. His parents rushed him to the Diamond Diagnostic Hospital, but sadly he was pronounced dead on arrival. Police investigations revealed that the barrel was marked with a highly flammable warning. Detectives observed injuries to Fayaz's head and hand, and further inquiries are ongoing. Meanwhile, as the parents mourn the loss of their 5-year-old son and laid his little body to rest earlier today, they are uncertain about the outcome of the investigation. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Police in London have confirmed that claims of an alleged kidnapping at Amelia's Ward Primary School were baseless after an investigation. Here again is Dale Jarvis with that report.
Following concerns, police in Linden assured that the alleged kidnapping at Amelia's Ward Primary School was baseless after the investigation. The Police Administration of Regional Division No. 10 has confirmed that allegations of a kidnapping incident involving students at Amelia's Ward Primary School are unfounded. This conclusion follows through investigations prompted by an initial report received on Wednesday, October 9, 2024, from a teacher at the school. The teacher reported that several students claimed a male driver in a silver gray Premio car was offering them money for snacks and enticing them to enter his vehicle. However, upon investigation, police contacted the owner of the vehicle, who clarified that he was at the school to pick up his 2 children. On Thursday, October 10th, a police team interviewed the head teacher, staff, students, parents, and the teacher who made the initial report. All involved reported no evidence supporting the kidnapping claims. Furthermore, no teachers or staff members had sent any voice notes regarding the kidnapping incident. The police have deemed the situation a false alarm, ensuring that the school community can remain at ease. Reported for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Stick around when we return. Private sector may raise wages following public workers' minimum wage hike, and President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali champions digital transformation for Guyana.
The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. How to apply for registration? You must visit the GECOM registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons from your area of residence to apply for registration or name change or correction. You must be in possession of the following source documents as might be relevant: original birth certificate or valid Guyana passport for new registration, original marriage certificate and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by way of marriage, original deed poll and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by deed poll, original naturalization certificate and original birth certificate in the case of naturalization. This registration exercise will end on November 29th, 2024. For further information, please contact GECOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GECOM website at www.gecom.org.gy.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
See clearly with the gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown, telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. In a recent address, President Irfan Ali shared plans for a digital Guyana, emphasizing technology integration in education and development. Malcolm Carter has more details.
In a recent address to the 12th Parliament, President Dr. Irfan Ali outlined an ambitious vision for a digital Guyana focused on integrating technology into education and various sectors.
Already, we have interventions where all teachers are trained to use various ICT tools and strategies, providing schools with appropriate equipment and software, reforming school curricula for the development of ICT proficiency, providing incentive for training in ICT, and providing community-based training for the use of computers.
Key initiatives include launching a digital school model incorporating AI from nursery through grade 12. With access extended to CARICOM citizens to foster regional collaboration, President Ali emphasized that the nation's future prosperity depends on digital leadership, highlighting its importance for sectors like agriculture, healthcare, and IT.
You have already started the important foundational work in creating a digital economy. Today, I stand before you with a vision of an era where we'll harness the power of digital technology and innovation to continue the upliftment of our citizens, our services, and government institutions.
Plans for eco-friendly data entries powered by Guyana's oil resources were also revealed, aiming to boost the country's tech infrastructure while promoting sustainability. The government is committed to aligning education with national goals and positioning Guyana as a Caribbean leader in technology and sustainability.
I'm giving these examples, Mr. Speaker, so that you and all members of this House and all of Guyana would understand the magnitude of work that has already commenced in the transformation of this economy.
President Ali also announced projects for enhancing public sectors through digitization, including paperless airport systems, biometric ID cards, and a national support service platform to improve government transparency and efficiency. With initiatives like 5G implementation and ICT hub development, Guyana is poised to become a technological advanced nation ready for future challenges. Reporting for Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. Continuing our coverage of the President's parliamentary speech, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali announced that all public sector workers will earn at least $100,000 monthly. This announcement, made during the President's address to the 12th Parliament at the Georgetown Convention Center, has prompted discussions with the private sector about potential wage increases. Komal Singh, chairman of the Private Sector Commission, stated that this move could lead to upward adjustments in private sector wages to remain competitive. He also noted that wages in the private sector are driven by supply and demand, and ongoing labor shortages have already led to salary increases. Kester Hudson, president of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, expressed openness to raising the private sector's minimum wage, but emphasized the need for business incentives to support such a move. The current private sector minimum wage is $60,000, raised from $44,200 in July of 2022. Staying with the current events, President Irfan Ali emphasized the vital role of women in Guyana's development, highlighted ongoing empowerment initiatives and expanding opportunities. More from Malcolm Carter.
On Thursday, President Dr. Irfan Ali reaffirmed the crucial role women play in the ongoing development of Guyana in his special address to the 12th Parliament.
Mr. Speaker, for our government, women participation is critical to the development and expansion of our country. We must ensure that women are participating more fully in the economic opportunities of our country.
Unveiling ambitious policy initiatives and transformative measures aimed at shaping the future of the nation, with a clear focus on women's empowerment, President Ali highlighted the positive impact of existing programs, noting that thousands of women have already benefited from scholarships and training opportunities provided by initiatives such as the Guyana Online Academy of Learning and the Women's Investment and Innovation Network.
We have witnessed female participation in law enforcement be increased by 44%. We have seen over 70% of gold scholarship being awarded to women, and 65% students enrollment at the University of Guyana being female.
Emphasizing that the government is committed, the President wants to ensure women are empowered and supported in their contributions to the national progress. Additionally, President Ali pointed out the increasing involvement of women in non-traditional sectors like carpentry and masonry, highlighting the expanding opportunities for women in the labor market.
Women will continue to play a major role in the development of Guyana.
As Guyana moves forward, empowering women remains a vital pillar of the government's development agenda, driving progress, innovation, and equality for all. Reporting for Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. Don't go away after the break. Hurricane Milton aftermath. Rescue efforts continue across the state of Florida. And the silence in media in occupied West Bank. Israel's arrest of Palestinian journalists.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all persons who meet the eligibility requirements to apply for registration. By doing so, you will be ensuring that you are issued a national identification card and be included in the official lists of electors for future elections, providing you meet all eligibility criteria. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact GECOM on 225-027729 or visit the website www.gecom.org.gy.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown, telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. A 3-day strike by public transport workers has brought Peru's capital to a standstill. Unions are demanding the government take action against organized crime after 3 drivers were killed in September. Al Jazeera's Felix Navarro reports.
Peru's capital Lima wakes up to an unusual rush hour. Commuters are waiting for buses, but none are in sight. Transport unions have called for a second strike in 2 weeks, demanding the government take action against organized crime. At least 3 bus drivers were killed in September, reportedly for failing to pay protection fees to gangs.
We have the same problems as everyone else. The people are tired of insecurity. We have nothing. The police don't provide us safety.
One industry body estimates about half of Lima's workers commute to work by bus. In response to the strike, public schools are shut and the government has urged businesses to allow employees to work from home. Many shops and markets have closed.
Many traders have been affected by this extortion. All we want is support from this government.
Near the parliament, police fired tear gas to disperse crowds protesting against rising crime. Official figures show arrests for extortion in 2023 were up 165% from the previous year. Under a state of emergency declared last month in 10 districts of the capital, the army has been deployed to support police. The Prime Minister says 10,000 police and military personnel would be monitoring the drivers' strike. Felix Nyawara, Al Jazeera.
Internationally, authorities in Florida are assessing the damage from Hurricane Milton, which made landfall on Wednesday night as a Category 3 storm. Al Jazeera's Heidi Castro has this report from flood-hit Tampa.
Hurricane Milton left pockets of devastation across the state of Florida. 33-year-old Olbin Cruz wonders why it had to be his family.
Terrible, mucho viento, mucha agua.
It was terrible. There was so much wind, water and uncertainty. I was just thinking of my children.
Hours after the storm had passed, his wife and children were still trapped inside their second-story apartment. He says the water was more than a meter high and still climbing. Rescue workers were in the area, but prioritizing the elderly, sick, and pregnant. People who could make it out alone carried whatever little they could salvage.
We're in a state of shock, wondering how we survived this.
Authorities say they expect Milton's death toll to climb. Along with 160 kilometers per hour winds and record rains, the hurricane spawned more than 24 tornadoes. As damage assessments continue, President Joe Biden warned recovery would require time and money.
Because this is going to be a long haul for total rebuilding. It's going to take several $1 billion. It's not going to be a matter of just a little bit.
Debris lines the streets of this St. Petersburg neighborhood. But this destruction isn't just from Milton. Less than 2 weeks ago, Hurricane Helene hit this exact same area. And the people living here didn't even have a chance to clean up from one hurricane before the next one came.
It was scary.
8-year-old Michaela Shack rode out the storm with her parents and grandmother.
Our main concern was to protect her. You know, she's our number one here. That's why Daddy took all the planning to get all the windows boarded up, and they'll remain boarded up until there's going to be another one coming in about a week.
Another possible storm in the Atlantic, already on forecasters' radars and on the family's mind. Heidi Jo Castro, Al Jazeera, Tampa, Florida.
Finally, since the war in Gaza began, Israeli forces have detained at least 108 Palestinian journalists in the occupied West Bank. Nearly half of them, 59, remain in jail. Other media workers have been targeted and harassed. Al Jazeera's Linda Abu Akleh reports.
Guns versus a microphone. Heavily armed Israeli soldiers storm Al Jazeera's bureau in Ramallah, ordering its closure for 45 days.
The occupation forces at around 3 a.m. raided Ramallah's downtown and closed the Shireen Abu Akleh street, where the building that houses the Al Jazeera office is located. Then after, they destroyed the main entrance and surrounded the area completely, and then stormed into the office.
This is just one of many assaults on Al Jazeera staff and other journalists in the occupied West Bank. And part of what many say is Israel's policy to suppress media freedom.
This is utterly shocking. I mean, it clearly comes as part of a long, drawn-out policy to try and stop free reporting. There's been, journalists have been locked out of the Gaza Strip. There's obviously been the terrible targeting of journalists in Gaza. There's been suppression of critical media within Israel and the attempt to stop Al Jazeera from reporting.
While attacks on media workers have long been a reality for Palestinian journalists, they have intensified since October 2023. Many have been harassed, prevented from doing their work, and even arrested. In November, the Israeli military arrested journalist Sumaya Jawabra while she was 7 months pregnant. She is still under house arrest. Over the past year, Israeli forces have detained 108 Palestinian journalists in the occupied West Bank and Gaza. Nearly half of them remain in prison. 37 of the arrested journalists are from the occupied West Bank, and 14 are held under administrative detention, meaning they are held without charge. Palestinian cameraman Mujahid al-Saadi is among them. He's been held without charge for 6 months after he was arrested from his home. But journalists are also being arrested for posting on social media. Palestinians say these are intimidation tactics Israeli forces use regularly. The UN says Israeli authorities have never investigated soldiers who have injured, harassed, or killed journalists in the occupied West Bank, including the Israeli sniper who shot and killed Al Jazeera correspondent Shireen Abu Akleh in Jenin in 2022, an attack which al-Saadi witnessed and survived. In the face of constant threats, Palestinian journalists say they are determined to keep doing their jobs, despite Israel's attempts to silence their voices. Lina Abu Akleh, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's CFTV2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. We will be off for the weekend, but you can tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other and do have a wonderful weekend.